I'm just waiting for the air conditioner to stop blowing so that you can hear me better. There we go. Alrighty, we're gonna jump right into today's material, starting with the old radio. Hi there, and welcome to This Day in History for August 16th. August 16th is the 228th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 229th in leap years, with 137 days remaining to the end of the year. A few days ago, we talked about the word canonization, and it comes from a word canon that has one N and a different meaning. That has to do with making someone an official saint. At that time, I referenced today's word canon and mentioned that while the words sound similar, they are spelled slightly differently and have completely different meanings and have evolved from different sources. So today we're going to talk about canon. Canon is usually a noun but may occasionally be used as a verb. As a noun, a cannon may be a weapon consisting of a metal tube, usually made of steel, supported by a carriage or mount, and is used for firing projectiles. A heavy caliber automatic aircraft gun used for firing explosive shells may also be called a cannon. You might hear the term cannon used in reference to a very strong throwing arm, like a shortstop with a cannon arm. This word canon comes to us through French, Italian before that, Latin before that, where it originally referred to the tubular stem of a reed. First known use of the word canon is in the 1400s. Canon. Words and their history are so interesting, don't you think? If you have a word you'd like us to take a look at, drop it in the comments. We'll give it a go. And with that, this is the birthday of the Hongxi Emperor of China, Zhu Gaoxi, born August 16th, 1378. He was appointed fourth emperor of the Ming Dynasty when his father, the third emperor of the Ming Dynasty, died. One could say that his on-the-job training as emperor consisted of ruling as regent when his father had occasion to be away on business. Zhu Gaoxi ruled less than a year, though, as he died of an apparent heart attack at the age of 46. Even though his reign was short, he is credited with reforms that made lasting improvements, and his son, who succeeded him as emperor, continued his policies. As an aside, sometimes when I show these videos to Mr. Bowers at home, I'll pause a section and give a little side story. So today I'll give you a little side story. These emperors are typically called something like the Hongxi Emperor or the Yongle Emperor or the Hongwu Emperor. These names refer to what are called era names, and each era name has a specific meaning. For example, the Hongwu means vastly martial, Yongle means perpetual happiness, and Hongxi means vastly bright. Now, I'm not sure who assigns these names, whether each emperor himself chose his era name or if someone else chose it for him beforehand, or if they were so named afterward according to the type of reign they had, but those are the era names. And of course, all these emperors do have what are referred to as personal names, like Zhu Gaoxi, but often these emperors are referred to in the more general term of their era name as the Yongle Emperor or the Hongxi Emperor. August 16, 1896 saw the genesis of the Klondike gold rush when three prospectors discovered gold in a tributary of the Klondike River in Canada. Aretha Louise Franklin was born on March 25, 1942 in Memphis, Tennessee. She had a great voice and knew how to deliver a song, earning her the honorific title the Queen of Soul. She released some 38 studio albums, 6 live albums, 131 singles over the course of her career, and dozens of television appearances and movie parts. She was the first woman to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1987 and has many other awards and accolades. We mention Ms. Franklin today because she passed away on August 16, 2018 at the age of 76. May she rest in peace. We have a playlist of episodes for this day in history, as well as a playlist of single subjects called How About That? And words of the day in a playlist called There's a Word for That. I'll leave links to those playlists for you. When I saw Aretha Franklin's name in today's lineup, the song that popped into my head and hasn't stopped playing is I Never Loved a Man the Way I Love You. Written by Ronnie Shannon and produced by Jerry Wexler, this song was released as a single in February of 1967 and on her 10th studio album of the same name the following month, March 1967. She'd been with Columbia Records for the 9 previous albums, but hadn't really achieved the success there that one would have hoped. Atlantic Records' Jerry Wexler snapped her up for Atlantic Records as soon as that Columbia contract expired. He wanted her to do a blues song, and as Ms. Franklin said, "They just told me to sit on the piano and sing." The piano player stepped aside, Ms. Franklin stepped in, and the magic happened. I Never Loved a Man hit the top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100, number 1 on the R&B charts, and propelled Aretha Franklin to superstardom. Of course, it's been covered by other artists and still gives me goosebumps to this day. I Never Loved a Man the Way I Love You by Aretha Franklin. Link in the description. Wowza, I'm covered with goosebumps after Aretha Franklin. Alrighty, this is where the outtakes go. I read it pretty clean, but there are outtakes anyway, so this is where they'll be. And I think I've adjusted the volume on the outro. We'll find out in the finished product. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. I forgot to put the Do Not Disturb on. Hold on. Excuse me, I'm working. All right. Put that right in the middle, if you will. Right about there. Perfect. And with that, this is the birthday of the Hongxi Emperor of China, Zhu Gaoqi. We're going to call it business. We're also going to remove that background. Dadgummit. There we go. And we'll just read that whole part over again. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with the link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That description lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page called No Really. You can also find me on Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Alrighty, back to work. I think we got it this time.